All right. Well, I'm glad to meet you. Curtis, you've been on this show before. You're on episode 372. For those who want to get to know Curtis.
Third time.
Third?
Yeah, man. This is number 3.
Wait a minute.
I did.
I
did one.
No, you were not on it.
I did one with the
Lizer Brothers.
The second, the Lizer Brothers. Yeah.
Wait, there was one time before that?
There was a time before that I was on, wasn't it?
I'm gonna challenge you on that.
Okay. Well, challenge me.
Maybe that was my last podcast. Anyway, regardless whether it's twice or 3 times, it's great to have you back.
Thank you.
And it's great to have Romola Lucas on for the first time.
Thank you. It's great to be on.
Oh, it's great to have you. You guys is it fair to say you co-programmed the Caribbean Film Festival?
Yes.
Is that your...
It's fair to say, yes.
And it's the 5th edition?
Yeah, it's the Caribbean Film Series.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm the Caribbean Film Series. And it's going to be here at BAM as of the 14th of March through the 17th, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
What's been the past circumstances with the festival? Curtis, how long have you been with the festival?
Well, it's actually been more of a this is
series.
actually.
Excuse me.
Well, here's the thing. It's this. So this is the anniversary of the series, and so for the 5th anniversary, we're actually having a festival to celebrate being 5 years here at BAM.
So typically, what goes on? How does this year, other than being the 5th one, how does it differ from the past ones?
Well, usually we're quarterly. And we'll have one film and one short that we show.
Oh, okay.
And then, but this year, obviously, with the festival, with the anniversary festival, it's a lot different. So we have a great number of films, many more films over 4 days that we're doing, as opposed to just the one.
That's great.
Yeah.
And so, how did you found the series? You both? You did?
Well,
Romola?
Well, together we did.
Together, okay.
Yes.
So you both did?
Yeah.
Okay. Never mind. Anyway, so I'm glad that you're both, and then I'm thrilled that you're both here. And we'll talk about the series and the festival. This is the 5th anniversary. Again, March 14th through the 17th, right here at BAM in downtown Brooklyn.
Yes, yes.
Tucked away behind the beautiful Apple Store and Whole Foods.
Or tucked aside.
And just a block or two from the beautiful Barclays Center. What's happening to this area? I mean, okay. It's another podcast. You want to give the details, and then we can go get in a little bit into the nitty gritty, into
Sure.
some of the screenings.
Okay, so I don't think that I know actually the number of films that we're screening, but it's somewhere in the vicinity of.
It's 23.
23.
Is that shorts and festivals?
Including shorts,
features?
yeah.
Okay.
Shorts and features.
That's robust.
Yeah, we have about 9 features.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest are shorts. So we have some blocks where we're screening a short in front of a feature, and then we have a shorts block.
Right.
So we basically, in approaching the programming for this festival, we sort of focused on the current films that are out. And we have one block that is dedicated to a retrospective, which we are really excited about because we get to show the films on 60mm.
Is this the Victor Yara?
Victor Hara Collective films.
Victor Hara Collective. When you say it's a collective, by the way, and I just take a baby step back, this is on March 17th at 1:30 in the afternoon. It's obviously a political series. This is Victor Hara was a poet, a playwright, a musician, of course, and an activist.
Most important.
Which was, of course, his undoing.
Yes.
But are these films that he had a hand in, or these were made about him and his legacy?
Actually, neither.
Really?
These films were made in Guyana.
Okay.
And they were made by a group of filmmakers who met here in the U.S. Back in the 50s.
Really?
Yes. And so one of the members of the collective is Dr. Rupert Rupnarayan, who is Guyanese. And the other members of the collective are from the U.S. And they traveled down to Guyana and shot these films. One film, The Turn of Time, is about the riots that happened in Guyana around the time that we got independence. And I'm from Guyana. So is Curtis, actually. And the second film, In the Sky is Wild Noise, that is a documentary, like a posthumous documentary about Walter Rodney. That was put together after he was assassinated in the early 80s in Guyana.
Who was also a dissident
Right.
speaking up for the people's rights down in Guyana. And but the Victor Hara Collective was inspired. That's why
I
they
see.
took that name. They were
Right.
inspired by
Right.
Victor Hara, and so they were just so taken with his struggle for political freedom that they took that name for their collective.
Yeah. That was back in the 70s, correct, when he was killed? Or is it maybe late 60s even?
He was, I can't remember. I want
Might
to
have
say it's
been.
early 70s, but I could be wrong about that. But it's
Okay.
around that time period, it's
Yeah.
late 60s,
Well,
early 70s.
right. Pinochet during the Pinochet regime.
Yeah, I believe it was that 72, 73
Okay.
year where during that time.
Anyway, that collection of films will take place, that retrospective will take
Yeah.
place on March 17th
Mhm.
at 1:30.
At 1:30.
And is it meant to be seen as a whole, or people can get tickets, see them?
No, it's meant to be seen as a whole.
Okay.
It's black and white, and like I said, it's on 60 millimeter, so we're kind of excited about that.
Yeah, it's going to look great.
Yeah.
What a great place, BAM, where they can show pretty much anything in any format.
Yeah.
That's the great thing of us working with such an institution, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, not
There's that
bad.
flexibility.
I mean, I imagine they need a heads up about, like when you're programming it, right? You're in constant touch with a point of contact here, so like they know what you're bringing over.
Oh yeah, yeah. And we
Yeah.
had to work that out too because we
Yeah.
had to get the prints from the filmmaker to here. And
Uh-huh.
the thing is, these prints have not been used in 20 years. So the last
Oh, boy.
time the films were screened using the film was
Uh-oh.
20 years ago.
Okay.
And so we had to do a little bit of testing to make
Oh, I'm
sure that
sure.
that it would stand up to being used for this, and it did. So
Be projected
Yeah.
successfully, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's happening on the opening night film, though. Let's go back and talk about that. That's kind of a big deal.
Yes.
Very popular and a celebrity-directed film. This is a movie called Yardy. You want to talk about that? That's 7:00 on March 14th.
Yes, that's directed by the much beloved Idris Elba.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, it's based on a novel by Victor Headley that was pretty successful in the past decade.
Mhm.
And so it was just took to really being adapted really well, and we're very excited about it. We're having a lot of people who are definitely buying tickets very early for it, which
wow.
is always good when
Yeah.
you're doing programming for a festival or any type of series.
Well, that's why
and-
I guess programmers usually put it something that people can,
Accessible film.
yeah. Some way into it.
Yeah.
Whether it's somebody they know, they recognize in the movie, or who's
Yeah.
made it, or
Mhm.
something else that it's important.
Yeah.
I think for
Yeah.
most festivals, not even very well big established national sized ones.
Oh yeah, no. There's always that opening night film.
Yeah.
that excites the audience.
And the closing night.
Yeah, and closing night, obviously. Yeah, absolutely.
So they don't dribble out over the course of your festival, coming back right to the bloody end.
Sure. But this film itself it's very special. It takes
Yeah.
place in Jamaica, but also in London as well. The majority actually takes place in London. And a big thing about our series and festival is that we don't only focus on films made in the Caribbean, but films about the Caribbean diaspora.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So it's
Yeah.
and which is pretty far-reaching, but people don't always know that. I mean, I think they may know that the diaspora extends to London, but they might not know that it extends to Canada, obviously to here in the States, and to countless other places, to the continent, to Africa. So that's the other exciting part about
Parts
it.
of
is it
Europe,
really-
maybe?
So, oh yeah,
Other
absolutely.
parts of Europe?
Throughout Europe, yeah, absolutely.
Maybe Scandinavia.
I'm sure.
We all know how much
Could be that hidden gem that
we
we
know
don't
how
know
much
about the
West Indian
Scandinavian.
people love the frigid climate, Curtis. So it would only make sense that they would
Oh man,
not just go to warmer Canada.
yeah.
Anyhow. Oh, so that's exciting. I have not heard much about Yardy to date, but I really do want to see that one.
Well, this is the New York premiere, by the way. So
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And is it a thriller of sorts? Is there that side of it? It looks like, from the description, it looks intense. I don't know.
yeah,
it's not
it
a
is.
comedy.
I mean, it is. No, it's not a comedy at all. I'll put it under dramatic thriller.
Okay. Dramatic
Yeah, because
thriller.
there's a bit of a murder mystery. Not even a bit. There is a murder mystery in the film
Mhm.
that we experience, and
Mhm.
it's also about in a lot of ways vengeance and
Mhm.
the emotional rendering that takes on young person,
Mm-hmm.
that quest for that. So there's definitely all those elements involved.
Who's the main actor in that?
Emil Adine.
Okay.
You might have seen in Sense8, the Netflix show. He was in the first season of that,
Okay.
as one of the starring characters.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just very great actor who's just doing a lot of good things. I've heard about his work specifically in London. My cousin, who does a lot of artistic work in London, knows him as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's also very connected to the community where that film was actually shot. He grew up around that area too. So so it's going to be great to have him here, just to talk about all of those things, to talk about his acting and to talk about the film and to talk about even some of the activism he kind of does himself. You know, so yeah.
Does Elba come out from behind the camera in the movie? Or is he just directing?
You have to wait and you have to watch the movie and see.
Okay, there's a cliffhanger right there for you.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, and I mean, you can talk about other films and events, but I definitely want to mention on the 17th at 6:30, there'll be a very special screening of Kalikala's second feature called Mother, which I saw at New Directors, New Films, I think. And he is actually coming on the show next week.
Okay.
Very
For
cool.
his second time.
Right.
Nice.
And this is one of the films that we...
Not third, Curtis.
Yeah, so this is one
We'll
of the
fix
films.
that. Don't worry. You come back on. Sorry, Romola. Go ahead.
Yeah, no worries. This is one of the films that we're actually excited about. It's beautifully shot as a documentary, but you can't really tell that, you know.
Yeah.
And just his approach to the storytelling.
Right.
It would be great to screen it to, you know, what we hope would be a mostly Caribbean audience, get their reaction to the film.
Right. This challenges audiences, I'm going to just say.
It
His
definitely
films do.
does.
Right.
Yeah.
But then you have the best conversations afterwards, and it's
Exactly.
and it does not. It takes a long time for those films to sort of I don't know, but evaporate from your psyche or something, how to say it best, but they stay with you a long time. I don't know. I mean, I call it works of nonfiction because I think of documentaries and. Yes, those are films of nonfiction, but they're only a category of films of nonfiction.
Oh, that's
you know,
a good
because a
point, yeah.
documentary I think of as telling us a type of story in a particular way.
Right.
And this is like not that. This is something else, right?
It's definitely something else, yes.
It has leanings in experimentalism, but I don't want to also categorize it to scare off those who maybe aren't used to experimental. This is a movie that will capture your heart and imagination. As I said, it will stay with you, and so...
It will. The other film that is also, I think, really good is Cocote.
Cocote?
Yeah. By Nelson Carlo de los Santos Aria.
That just rolled off your lips so beautifully, Romola. I'm just very impressed with that.
So that film is shot in the DR, and it is similar, in my mind, it's an almost experimental documentary type film, but it has one of my favorite scenes ever in a film, which... I don't even know how to describe it.
Maybe you don't.
I don't.
Maybe we go see it, and then we come back and we ask Romola if we can, or try to see if we can identify the scene that captured her.
Yeah, definitely. And I've seen this film now 3 times, and I'm going to see it for a 4th time.
You are?
At this festival,
because okay, will the filmmaker be in attendance?
Unfortunately,
it's hard,
he was
right?
not able to attend. We weren't able to get him to come, but it would have been great because the Q&A that would come after this film with him would be very enlightening as well.
Yeah. Just call him on the phone. Not optimal.
We might try something, but in, you know, in other instances when we screen films and the filmmaker is not present, but people want to deconstruct it afterwards, we just vibe. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Just vibe. So if it comes to that, we'll do it.
Oh, good. Okay. Right. Understood. And Romola, just because we haven't met before, what is your path to the Caribbean Film Festival?
Well, I started an organization called the Caribbean Film Academy with a friend of mine, Justin, and we started in 2012, screening Caribbean films in a storefront on Fulton Street. There used to be a store there before all
the development here. Yes, when you could afford to do something like that.
Right. There was a little store on Fulton called Nicholas, Brooklyn. It was a variety store. They would just pull their stuff they would pull their merchandise into the back, set up a screen and a projector for us, and we would show films once a month. And we did that for 4 years. We showed films there, and then they had to move because of the construction.
All the rezoning and the
Yes,
reconstruction. Right.
right.
Of course.
So they had to move,
Mhm.
and so we then started screening in other spaces. But that's
And there-
how.
That's how you'd meet Curtis John, because
Yes.
the Luminal Theater,
We're still a bit nomadic right now.
That's
but
fine.
Yeah, it is.
that can be kind of part of its charm and benefit, is that it's in different venues.
It definitely is right now.
Yeah.
So so
Yeah.
Curtis and I
But-
met, and
Mhm.
we talked about, wanting to be able to have Caribbean films on the screen here, and then we made that happen.
You did.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
thank you.
It's great to have you both. And again, I'm going to remind everyone, for tickets, go to the BAM website and go BAM Films pages. There's obviously a pages dedicated to the Caribbean Film Festival as well. Caribbean Film Series, as well as you can go to CaribbeanFilmSeries.nyc.
Yes.
See how I did that?
Nice.
And purchase tickets, which are quickly running out. Is you already sold out?
It's not sold out yet, but I would not wait until the day of to try to get a ticket.
Right.
No,
Don't do that.
don't do that.
Get them now. Was there anything else? I don't want to leave out anything that's important.
Well, the shorts block is fantastic.
Uh-huh.
I think every single film in that shorts block, showcases filmmakers who are going to be successful in their careers if this is what they continue doing.
Sounds like an order.
Yeah,
Don't disappoint Romola.
I'm not. The films we put together there are really good.
Mhm.
And then we have the world premiere of 2 films, and a Brooklyn premiere of a film by a Brooklyn filmmaker.
Oh, great.
So that film is called Panorama Jam into the Top, and it's about the carnival culture in Brooklyn.
Okay.
So we're
Who's that filmmaker's name? Do you have
the
that?
filmmaker's name is Christine Shaw.
Okay. Shaw?
Shaw.
Okay.
Yes, and she's a graduate of Brooklyn College, so it's a really,
Beautiful. We
really
love that.
local film. So we really love that.
That is
and
great.
and it's
And that also means people will show up.
right.
I mean, excuse me, all the more.
All the more, yes.
Because all the friends and family are nearby, or could be.
right. And then preceding that film is a film called Lifted, which is going to be having its world premiere, was shot in Trinidad, and it's really the first film that has come out since the civil unrest, started to escalate in Venezuela, and a lot of Venezuelans have migrated to Trinidad, and so this film sort of explores, the interactions of these newly arrived Venezuelans with Trinidadian culture. Living in Trinidad and with the carnival culture in Trinidad, and that film was funded by UNESCO, and it's having its world premiere at the festival.
Oh, great!
Yes, and then there's another film called She Paradise. It's a short that's having its world premiere at the festival. That was just recently shot in Trinidad, and it's a story about female dancers who back up the soca singers.
The what?
The soca singers.
What are those?
Yeah.
The singers when
Yeah.
soca music performers, they always have very rhythmic dancers in the background.
What are you not telling me?
It's carnival music.
Yeah.
So
You know,
are they
it's-
dressed?
No.
Is that what's going on?
Well, no.
Oh, okay.
No,
I thought we were going.
It's just there hasn't been a film that has actually explored that culture. So
Right.
this
Okay.
one starts to do that.
Oh, very good. Okay. So, last reminder, the Caribbean Film Series will take place here at BAM Cinema, or at BAM, in downtown Brooklyn, March 14th through the 17th, 2019. And tickets are available, so still for most everything at this date and time. So don't hesitate to check it out and purchase tickets right away. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Romola. Thank you, Curtis.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Oh, my pleasure. Anytime.